Have you heard of Count Dracula, the feared vampire of the dark? But do you know the true story behind the myth? Today, we will explore the depths of the legend and reveal secrets you never imagined. Get ready for a journey through history, legend, and myth, and discover the unexpected at the end of this video. Are you prepared for the truth? Let's go back in time to the Middle Ages, to a place called Wallachia, in present-day Romania. It was there that a man was born whose name would be remembered for centuries. Vlad III, known as Vlad the Impaler, a fierce and cruel prince, famous for impaling his enemies on stakes, leaving a trail of terror wherever he went. To understand better, we need to look at the political and social context of the time. Wallachia was constantly at war with the Ottoman Empire, and Vlad used cruelty as a tool to maintain control and instill fear in his enemies. But how did this bloodthirsty prince become the most famous vampire in literature? Introduction of Bram Stoker. In 1897, an Irish author named Bram Stoker wrote a novel that would forever change our perception of vampires, Dracula. Before continuing, let's clarify the difference between myth and legend. A myth is a fantastic narrative, usually involving gods and supernatural beings, that explains natural or cultural phenomena. A legend, on the other hand, is a traditional story that may be based on real facts but is widely embellished with fictional elements. Dracula is a myth created by Bram Stoker, but it has roots in the legend of Vlad the Impaler. Vlad's story is a legend, while the vampire Dracula is a myth of literature. Nosferatu is an old Romanian word that means plague carrier. In Romania, legends describe Nosferatu as a being that returns from the dead to suck the blood of the living, spreading disease and death. It is said that Nosferatu can only be destroyed by exposure to sunlight, a detail that has become iconic in the representation of vampires. Strigoi are restless spirits of dead people who come back to life. It is believed that they feed on the blood of the living and have the ability to shapeshift and control animals. Strigoi are especially feared at night when they leave their graves to terrorize the living. In Greece, the Vrikolakas is a vampire that results from a violent death or an improper burial. These beings are known for their strength and ability to pass through doors and windows to attack their victims. Vrikolakas are destroyed by burning their bodies or decapitating them and burying the head in sacred ground. Upers are Slavic vampires who stand out for their ability to walk during the day, unlike many other vampires in European legends. They are extremely cruel and feed on human blood, especially that of children. To destroy them, villagers perform exorcism rituals and bury the bodies in sacred grounds. The Krvopijak is a feared figure in Bulgaria, described as a being that feeds on blood and is often associated with witchcraft. It is identified by its pale appearance and thirst for blood. The Krvopijak is destroyed by driving a stake through its heart. In Germany, the Naxxerer is a vampire that feeds not only on blood, but also on human flesh. It is said that they come back from death to attack their own family members. To get rid of them, the head must be cut off and buried separately from the body. Now, how did Stoker transform Vlad into Dracula? He took Vlad's bloody fame and combined it with European legends about vampires, creating a character that is both fascinating and terrifying. Dracula is an immortal being who feeds on human blood, has supernatural powers, and an insatiable thirst for power and domination. Bram Stoker did extensive research for his book, exploring various legends and stories about vampires. He also drew inspiration from tales of superstition and folklore from Eastern Europe. Dracula is not just a monster, but also a complex character with human traits. His quest for power and immortality reflects the fears and desires of society at the time. The real Dracula, Vlad, was not a vampire. However, his cruelty and brutal methods created such deep fear that, over the centuries, he transformed in people's minds into something even more terrifying. And here is the big secret. The legends about Vlad and the myth of Dracula show us how fear and human imagination can transform a real man into a legendary monster. The truth is that while Dracula may not be real, the impact of Vlad the Impaler on the collective psyche certainly is. Studies show that the fear of figures like Vlad can profoundly influence popular culture and beliefs. This fear is perpetuated by stories and myths that evolve over time. The line between myth and legend can be thin, but the impact of these stories is profound. Vlad was a real man whose cruelty turned him into a legend, and that legend inspired a myth that still fascinates and terrifies us to this day. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any content. And don't forget to leave in the comments what more you would like to discover about the legends and myths of our history. Until next time, and remember, not everything is as it seems. Sometimes, the truth is scarier than fiction.